Hi, I'm Zoe Elmore, and I'm excited to have this opportunity to share some of my life stories and life lessons with you.
The character trait I'm going to talk about tonight is the very first one, the letter D, which is discipline. Now, how many of you here are disciplined women? Raise your hand. Okay, I need to come sit beside you and come live with all three of you 1 week a month to learn to be disciplined. Discipline is hard for me to learn.
You know, growing up, I chose to live a life of insecurity, discouragement, and defeat. But God opened my eyes to His truth. And now I choose to live a life where I pour His love, His life, and God's joy into the life of others.
If you and I will begin to employ those character traits in our lives, then yes, we will be dangerous. Dangerous how? Dangerous because we as women have incredible influence on everyone in our lives. Would you agree?
As a cheerleader for life, I hope to encourage and equip your hearts. We're going to use strong biblical principles, great spiritual lessons, and a lot of funny stories.
And she said, well, when I'm in a good mood, my ring turns green. And I said, well, that's good. What happens when you're in a bad mood? She said, my ring leaves a big red spot on my husband's forehead.
I'm telling you a true story. I was in a public restroom, and there was a lady on her BlackBerry in the stall next to me, and she said, don't flush. I'm on the phone with my boss. Now that's going too far. And this very quiet child behind his aviator glasses doesn't even look me in the face. He does this. Hey, Mom, I'm going to show you a maneuver the FAA required me to do before they would license me. And with that, he pulled back on the yoke, and the nose went straight to heaven. And then he goes, I'm going to stall the engine.
We're going to look at God's Word of substance, and we're going to do it with a little bit of style.
Well, girls, today we are going to talk about attitude and accessories. How many of you have an attitude? As women, I think we all have attitudes. We cannot live our lives with an attitude of allowing feelings to drive our train.
I look forward to our time together, and I pray that everyone who attends will leave with a renewed sense of God's peace and presence, of God's perspective and God's purpose on your heart and in your life.
I heard the Lord whisper to my heart. He said, look out the window and tell me what you see. I said, Lord, I see things I've never seen before. He said, that's because you're seeing them from a different perspective. He said, I want you to look at your life right now. It appears to be spinning out of control, just like you thought that plane was spinning out of control. But just like your son knew how to right that plane and restart that engine, I know what I'm doing in flying your life. And if you'll see your life from my perspective and not worry about anything, but pray about everything, you will weather this storm as a godly woman.